What's up? How you doing? Beautiful evening. It's tea time, evening tea. Have my cup there. That's the right size. That's what you should be drinking tea out of. Today we're going to go with red rose. So I got the water here warming up. Very beautiful evening. See a couple of crows over there flying by themselves. They lost the group. Got some albums here we're going to talk about. This one here, I'm a big fan of this person, Dan Fogelberg. The Innocent Age, great album. Highly recommend this album. So a lot of good songs. Double record. But the song that sticks out to me, it's a standout song. I mean, there's a few of them, but the one that really sticks out is Leader of the Band. That song, you feel the emotion. It pulls at your heartstrings. And when I hear it, it reminds me of my father. A lot of similarities in that song. So, comes on the car radio, I crank it up all the time. I'm a big fan of his. He's no longer alive, but he left a big impact in music. Great melody, great lyrics. Leader of the Band. Got a picture here of a doll in front of a tombstone in a cemetery. It means something. It means something, I don't know. So, yeah. Picture of him inside. They don't make music like this anymore. This is a great album. If you bump into it, pick it up. Especially in vinyl. So back then, in the old days, when you got an album like this, it was good quality. Carried you through rough times, and you know, a lot of interesting lyrics. Tea's ready. Get the red rose out. Put a teaspoon of sugar. That's it, teaspoon. 16 calories. You walk up a flight of stairs, you're all set. Let it sit there for a little bit. So the next album we have, I'm a big fan of this person. Look at that cool shot. So Herb Alpert and the Tijuana Brass. I've been a fan of his now for like 4 decades. And the way I found out about him, I didn't know who he was before, but in the mid-'80s, I was visiting my uncle. My uncle's family, my cousins, you know, I was visiting them, and he had a box like about that big full of vinyl, and it was in his basement. And you know, he was down there, he was doing something, and I was down there looking around, and I saw the box and kind of flipping through it, and next to the box was a turntable like from the 1940s. And he looked at me and he said, "If you want those," he goes, "take them, because I'm not going to use them." And I said, I don't want to be greedy, you know. I said, well, I don't know, I'm not going to take all of them, which I should have. I should have, because he probably tossed them after. And I said, I'm not going to take all of them. I'll take a few. So I went through a bunch of them, and Dennis Day was in there. I grabbed some of his, but Herb Alpert, he was in there, and he had the one. This isn't it. The one I got was the one he's in an airplane, one of those single-engine ones. And the reason I got it is because in the back I noticed that Zorba the Greek, the theme, was on there. He played it, so I grabbed it, and I played the crap out of that album. and he's actually on tour right now. He's still alive. He's a founding member. I think two guys. He's one, obviously A&M, right? The A is Albert for A&M Records. So he's close to $1 billion in worth. I mean, you know, but I'm a fan of his music. I don't know, you know, how to explain it, but it's just something when you hear it and you like it, you know it. Music is subjective. Some people like certain music, some people don't. You know, so anyway, he's still active, and I don't know, I don't see him coming out here, even though he lives out here. We'll see. I may go see him. Here's one everybody my age and older remembers. USA for Africa. We are the world. This is what they gathered, a bunch of American musicians, and they sang a song to help, you know, hunger in Africa. And this was kind of like in response to the song that was released by Band-Aid. Do They Know It's Christmas Time? You know that song? That's a good song. This one is a good song, but that one was a little bit better. You know, I mean, I thought they could have written a better song. But it did you know, it helped. I was gonna say it did the job, but there's still people, you know, hungry in those parts. A lot more needs to be done. There's no shortage of food. It's all politics. There's plenty of food in the world to feed everybody. I think like 4 times over, or whatever number they throw out now. I remember in the 80s they say you could feed everybody in the world 6 times over with the amount of food the world makes. I don't know if that's true. Sometimes we repeat things without knowing if they're true. Somebody said it, so we say it, but I don't know. So Quincy Jones, which is one of my favorite producers, produced this. Great jazz musician. Love his work. Of course, Thriller was produced by Quincy Jones. Bad. But yeah, all around talent. So I saw the documentary on this a while ago. Bob Dylan was having a hard time singing his part. Quincy Jones was trying to help out. Stevie Wonder went over and helped out. I think Bob Dylan was a little nervous. So there's a bunch of other good tunes on here, and the one that sticks out for me, which was not written by Bruce Springsteen, was written by, I think, Jimmy Cliff. Trapped is on here. I love that song. I want to say that's my favorite Bruce Springsteen song, but it's not really a Bruce Springsteen song, but I love the way he does it. And his voice, let me say some of Bruce Springsteen. 1 second. So he released an album. I mean, I'm a fan of his. I love Born in the USA. I love Tunnel of Love especially. My Hometown is a great song. Racing in the Streets. That's an awesome tune, Racing in the Streets. But this last thing he did with Motown, the sounds of Motown, where he did cover versions, I didn't like it. I didn't think, I know he says that his voice matches perfectly for that kind of stuff, but I don't think so. I did not find that his voice matched for that kind of music. His voice matches more for stuff like Born in the USA, Nebraska, The River, that kind of stuff. His voice is perfect. But I played it a few times in the car, and it just wasn't grabbing me. But Trapped is perfect for his voice. Such a great song. You know, he did a great job on that. And he kind of, you know, he's kind of like, well, he's not, but John Cafferty is kind of like a Springsteen. Although John Cafferty can sing better. And I'm a big fan of John Cafferty and the Beaver Brown Band. I love Eddie and the Cruisers. What a great movie. I wish they would make another one, but no one's interested right now. I've been a fan of that since it came out in the early 80s. Was it 83 or something? And I've actually seen John Cafferty and the Beaver Brown Band. I can't even tell you how many times. 6 times, 7 times. Used to be a place called Karen's Nightclub. Let me see how this is. Delicious. Highly recommend it. Anyway, there was a place called Karen's Nightclub or Rock Club, and we would go and get tickets, and it was like right up against the stage. Like we'd have tables like what I'm sitting at right now, and you'd get like finger food. And John Cafferty was like maybe 15 feet away. I loved going to see them. I love that kind of rock and roll. Dark Side, Tender Years, beautiful music, beautiful songs. So they're still around, but they're doing the old stuff. But yeah, I'm a big fan of John Cafferty. So yeah, a lot of good tunes on here. But for me, the song on here that I like a lot, Trapped. Then we have this album. Foreigner 4. This is a masterpiece. This is a great, great album. Urgent. Waiting for a Girl Like You. That is a great song. I mean, that's another song where you feel the emotion. You could feel the emotion. You feel like you're in love, even when you're not. You hear that song, it makes you feel like it makes the brain release the love chemicals. It gives you a feeling of, it's a bit loneliness, love, combination of all those emotions. Jukebox Hero. That is a beautiful song there. You feel the energy, guitar roaring there. Mick Jones, Lou Gramm, Dennis Elliott, Rick Willis. I know for me, there's a couple of people that are great, great, great singers in rock and roll. Steve Perry, Bob Seger, and Lou Gramm. This was a great band. I know Lou Gramm is no longer with them. He's still around, but he's no longer with the band. But this is a fantastic, highly recommend this album. And I have one more. I'll grab it in a second. Beautiful night, beautiful breeze going by, unseen winds blowing. I'll be right back in a flash. All right, I'm back. Had to go find this. So, I'm a big fan of Dexys Midnight Runners. Big fan. Love that song. I love the style of the lead singer. And they released a new album, The Feminine Divine. The Feminine Divine. So they call Dexys now. I don't know why they changed it. I don't know. They want to differentiate, so they changed it to Dexys. But the single Coming Home, two singles, Coming Home, and I'm Going to Get Free. Love this band. So haven't opened it yet. I haven't heard it yet. But it's got 1, 2, 3, 4, like 9 tunes on here, which is what I like. 9 to 10, perfect. If you have more than that, like let's say you're Bruce Springsteen and you want to show that you've written a lot of stuff, and you put on 17 songs for an album, get rid of 7 and pick the 10 best. You know, because the 7 are garbage. Just toss them out, they're all filler. And then release the best 10 that you have and call it an album. You know, don't, I wrote 55 songs for this album and I chose 17. Unnecessary. Just write 10 or pick 10. Okay, put it in your vault, and then when you die, they can release new songs for the next 25 years. Get these people, they want to make an album, they get carried away. Album should be about 10 songs, because the rest of it is just garbage. It's filler. Oh yeah, I love vinyl. The old days, you grabbed it, there was something in your hand, the artwork. Just, now they give you these little. Some of it's not even like that. Some of the music these days is just digital. It goes from one antenna to your computer. That's what I like to see, images. Kevin Rowland, big fan of his. I don't know, something about his style. I mean, I don't dress like that, but looks fine on him. And I love the way he sings Come on Eileen. You have to read the lyrics in print to understand what he's saying. He sings it in such a way where it sounds foreign. Like you don't know what he's saying. But once you read it, then you know exactly what he's saying. That's one of my favorite songs of all time. So, and I'm glad to see that he has a good presence here in the writing credits. So he's on every song as a writer, co-writer, but he's on every one. Good. Yep. So I can't wait to hear it. I love, to me, they'll always be Dexys Midnight Runners. I'm pretty sure that's a drug reference. So, but now they're just called Dexys. And that's it. That's it. This tea is awesome. Got a bamboo here, piece of bamboo. It feels very strong. I mean, it's not dry. I just cut it. That's why it's still green. But when this thing dries, they make prisons out of these things in Southeast Vietnam. Yeah, I enjoy tea, especially on nights like this. Kick back over here,